Let's put down the tasks on a sheet of paper that, if you accomplish them, would produce the greatest positive results in your life.
I've got my goals right in front of me, and I have what I call my 3x3s. I think this is actually where a lot of people get stuck, right? Is that they set this goal and they're like, all right, here's all the things I need to do. And they write it all out and they create this epic plan. And then it's like, whoa.
It's a lot. It's a lot. 50 things that are running under it, but it's those top 3 that are going to help you move forward. What are the segments of that goal that need to occur?
I think people get confused often. They confuse excitement for, a purpose. So it's like, oh, that's exciting, right? The amount of people, and you made it happen, the amount of people that go to a seminar and they see the person on the stage and that's what I want to do. 70% of the crowd sometimes leaves I want to become that. It's just because they were excited. It wasn't actually their passion or purpose or their fire yet. So, okay, I love this. So let's keep going down this path. So first step, what's your fire, right? Your ferociously important reason to exist. Once I've kind of think I have that, what comes next? Because you mentioned that F word, right? Fear. And fear holds people back. So, I know my fire. Now what? How do I start taking steps towards it?
And I always take people into the process slowly. So when I mention to you, what are your strengths? What are people telling you that you are good at? Not just what you know to be good, but what are people recognizing in you? Often we take for granted who we are. We don't really stop and say, man, I'm a great host. I got this down. I ask good questions. We don't really stop and think about it. We do it. It's when people that are credible identify those things in us that we're like, oh, wow, I really do got to go in there. And then from that point, it's the educational portion on top of that, meaning that you have to continue to get educated. You can't just sit, and think, okay, I'm there. I got it. I'm done. So it's the strengths and the continuous education that fall into play there. From that point forward, yes, we're looking at fear and, maybe taking a bigger step or uncovering a bigger goal that moves us in that direction. So I would say, who is the STEAL team that surrounds you? Who is the STEAL team? In other words, you may have people in your life and you think that they're taking you there and they are not. And I know people that are like this. They have certain people that are surrounding them that don't carry strong values. They just seem to have an easier or quicker path. And it's really not. It's all an illusion. You think that, wow, I'm going to get to what I want or this person's going to help me, but they're really not. So you have to really evaluate who's your STEAL team. Who are the people that you can keep as friends, but they're a different kind of friend? Who are the people you want to bring on board? And I refer to them as family, which is friends, associates, instructor. I'm allowing you to write these down.
Friend, associate, mentor,
instructor, and then you are part of that process.
Wait, what was the L?
A loved one.
There we go. I was like, wait a minute.
A loved one. We have family.
There we go. I was like, okay, I'm with you, but we kind of skipped. Well, I like that. Friends, associates, mentors, instructors, loved ones, you, right?
Yes.
And then also break down, you call it a STEAL team. Is there a meaning behind that?
There isn't an acronym, which I know is what you're looking for here. No acronym there. But it's just powerful. It's powerful, and it's something that you have evaluated. You did not sit on the sidelines and just say, hey, I'm just going to talk to Jack about this. You really thought it out. Who are these people that I have to have in my life to help me get to these goals? And by the way, you should know that just because they're involved in one goal doesn't mean they're going to be involved in every goal. You might need a different mentor depending on what that goal is. One of the podcasts that I had done the other day, they were talking about an organization that, was hesitating and was afraid to move forward in this one specific avenue, in this one specific industry, because they needed the revenue in multiple industries. And, you have to, on your end, have that right force around you. And what they were missing, one of those things was sales. Meaning all your people have to become salespeople and go out and find that business so that it can build the way that you want it to. So you don't have to fall on, I've got 5 industries instead of one main focus. So it can change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's key. I actually just gave a workshop on goal setting, and one of those was like then the accountability part of like who you surround yourself with. Are you surrounding yourself with people that like want you to achieve your goals? Are you surrounding yourself with people that like your goals scare them, where they're going to pull you back down? They don't want you to achieve it because then it makes them look worse or bad. And who you surround yourself is just beyond important. And I love how much you've mentioned it earlier. Courses, programs, reading, mentors, right? A lot of like self-education in this process, I think is key. So, okay, let's keep going. I've got my fire. I've been dabbling. I was like, ooh, I've got my fire. Now I know my SEAL team, right?
Yep.
Friends, associates, mentors, instructors, loved ones like you. Then what? Right? So, okay,
Right.
I'm building my team. I know my fire. I know where I'm trying to go. Now what?
Yeah. Now we've got to start to take steps. What are the tasks that are involved in achieving that goal? And it's one of the things that I love, and it's so basic. Writing things down, even the idea of writing something down makes it logical, not emotional. It makes it more real just because you put it on paper. It makes it easier to take the steps just because you wrote it down. So to identify what are the tasks that you need to do to work toward that goal and to achieve that goal. And if I were to look at that let's take it on a day by day basis, same thing. Let's put down the tasks on a sheet of paper that if you accomplish them would produce the greatest positive results in your life.
I've got my goals right in front of me, and I have what I call my 3x3s. Right,
Oh
this is
my
what I like
God.
to teach my teams and teach my orgs. Right, what are the 3 things daily, weekly, and monthly that if I do, aka those tasks, will give me the best chance at achieving that goal? Now they're right here in front of me every day. Like these are my goals. These are my 3x3s. So I love this. So keep going. So these tasks, right? Now I'm going to flip the question. How do you prevent task overwhelm? Because I think this is actually where a lot of people get stuck, right? Is that they set this goal and they're like, all right, here's all the things I need to do. And they write it all out and they create this epic like plan. And then it's like, whoa. Like
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Right.
And there's no doubt we got to take it in pieces. Number one, when I look at daily tasks for people, I look at what are the top 3 things on that list. If you did them, like we talked about, would produce the greatest positive results in your life. And that's just on a day. So meaning that you might have, 50 things that are running under it, but it's those top 3 that are going to help you move forward. And what are the segments of that goal that need to occur? If you're moving toward losing weight, if that's a big focus for you, then it is about, okay, do I need a trainer? Do I need to do it on my own? Am I going to have a buddy system? Like, what is my initial step that's going to help me get there? And then what is the day-to-day plan that I'm going to follow? Is it just 3 days a week? It's almost like you said, am I going to do it like 7 days a week? Well, I probably won't do it 7 days a week. And then I'm just going to feel like I didn't accomplish my goal and I'm going to stop. But to really like break it down to just choose and pick what you can do during that time. Be reasonable with yourself.
Got it. I love that. And so then how do you ensure, or what systems, back to that word, do you set up to make task completion regular? Because I think a lot of people, right, they get to this point and they write out all the things, but then they wake up the next day and they don't do them, right? Or they get slides away. Like, how do you stay consistent? How do you build that discipline?
And I felt that the other day. Like here I am moving toward these. I've got all these things that are going on. I'm like I'm reaching, I'm pushing, and I'm being knocked and knocked and knocked and knocked and knocked. And we've all been there before. But yes, that was my other day, and you just feel like what's the point? I just don't feel like it. And that's when what I have found to be useful, and with people that I coach as well, is for them to step outside of the circle and do something different. Change up the game, change up the scenario. It's almost like if cold calling is your thing in sales and then you decide, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go network. I'm going to go to a networking event now. Let me see what I can make happen there. Because we all have that big fish in sales that we want to capture. And it takes time and effort, and we feel overwhelmed in that process. And we feel like, what's the point? I'm not getting anywhere. But go after other opportunities while you're building that big fish. It's always expanding the circle, doing something different. Because for me, it's like sometimes I would just go to the gym and work out. Let me get myself back on track. That didn't even work that day. I had to step completely out of my circle, make a phone call to a resource that, I said, let me give it a shot. And it ended up working out. So step out of the circle to get yourself back on track with your fire, because it's not going to be easy. And today, in different generations and commitment and working hard, and you know where I'm going with this. There's no easy. It doesn't just come your way. It doesn't happen. And if you're lucky enough to fall into money, well, okay, so you're lucky, but that doesn't mean you're going to achieve your goals, because you could just fall on the money, and that doesn't mean that anything's going to happen. You've got to be prepared to work hard. So it's, don't just think that, okay, I'm going to roll into this and it's going to happen. I have not seen that happen. Not in my life. Not in my life.